Good evening if you are watching this late. My name is Laura Miller, the managing editor of Chicago News Weekly, here with Damon Williams and Will Adams. And they're about to tell me the tea about their latest film. It's called Tubi. And if you're thinking that we're talking about Tubi, the platform, you are probably right. So before we spoil anything, thank you guys so much for joining today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yeah,
today is a good day. Today's a great
yeah, I
day
mean,
in Chicago. The weather was beautiful. It's October. I'm looking forward to this goofy debate later. So it's a good day.
yeah, the debate. So if you guys are watching this, we are filming the day of the vice presidential debate. So somebody might be called a weirdo today. There might be some mention about eating more pets than dogs and cat ladies. We don't know. We should probably start a drinking game for it, but
Yeah.
we have time. Because then, you never know. But so you guys, tomorrow I got the luxury of being invited to a screening of your film. So Will,
Oh,
tell
you
me.
did? Okay, cool.
Yes, I'm gonna be there. But I like to do my interviews early because I'm an adult. So when you talk about red carpet, I'm not trying to be screaming at y'all. I'm not trying to do all that. We're trying to have a real conversation and give our readers the opportunity to know more about you rather than just listening to me holler in your ear.
I got you.
It's not
I
the
got you.
vibe. It's not I'm old enough. I've been in journalism long enough to not have to do that vibe anymore. So let's be
That's
grown ups
cool.
now and have a conversation. So yes, Will, tell me about the film and how you kind of came up with the concept.
Well, as you said, Tubi movie is kind of a satire piece because we're kind of taking a spin on what people really, show on the internet because they say, look at this. Tubi, come on, you got to do better. So one day, and this is before I wrote the script, I called Damon up. Damon, you remember?
Yes, sir.
I called him up and I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this piece. And he said, me and my wife was just talking about that. And then he just hung up. So now, he said, yeah, yeah, he's just saying that. And then I came up with the script. And it's a piece that exemplifies all this bad with the stuff that Tubi actually and other streaming platforms. It's just not Tubi, but Tubi is the king of it so far. But it's a funny twist on the stuff that they put out there. And instead of we having viewers watch it and say complain about it, the actors are actually complaining about it.
So they're complaining in real time, we're breaking the fourth wall in this film, I'm assuming, quite a bit.
Yes. So the reason why we're doing that is so the audience can laugh with us instead of at us. Because right now they're laughing at those filmmakers that are on those platforms. And this film right here allows them to laugh with us because we're part of the joke. Instead of us being the joke, we are part of the joke. So it's great, like when Damon on stage and he makes a joke, everybody responds and laughs. That's what this is about.
Okay, so Damon, I know you got the phone call early. So when you read the script, what made you decide to stop pretty much running Chicago? Because I don't know if y'all follow Damon, but this man is performing almost every day. It feels like every day. So what made you take a break and pause to that and actually commit to the project?
Well, as he stated, it was evident. We always noticed the glitches in films, not just Tubi movies, but in movies in general. Like my wife has been very astute to notice that all babies in every scene always look at the boom camera. But I'd never caught to that. I never caught on to that. But also the premise, when he presented the premise, I started laughing right away. And as far as me being all over Chicago, I have limited that. I have now pulled back so that people don't feel as I'm oversaturated. So I've restricted myself to very limited. I've gone back to that. I really was doing riddles every week because I was trying to assist the original founder and owner as he went through an illness. And then he just left it in my lap and left me with his sister to run the business, and that was not my intent. So
Mm.
now I'm there on spot dates, if that, and then I'm doing monthly shows in major venues to continue. So I had time, but I made time for this because I believe so. Will is a very proficient filmmaker. He's very hands-on, but he gets it done. Like he's like the Tyler Perry of Chicago film and cinema, because Tyler will get
Without
100
the dress.
episodes done in 100 days. You know, I mean, and I mean that as a complimentary thing, because we go on set, we run those lines, we shoot it, we move it on. And I know if he says we're gonna shoot this today, we're gonna get it done today, and it's done, and then he gets it done. So Adele Givens actually was one of the persons who convinced me of his abilities, because she said he's one of those guys, you know, you do those movies and it sits around for months and months and you never hear about it again. Will gets it done. So, and then he has a screener. And as a matter of fact, I think the first red carpet that I walked for a film that I was in was a Will Adams production. So I'm in the camp. I'm loyal to this brother because I like his work.
I love that. And also, not for nothing, I like you outside, and I don't think you would ever be saturated, because I mean, let's be clear, people still show up for you, and they're gonna show up for you. So don't worry about being oversaturated. I mean, even when they said Kevin Hart was oversaturated, people still showed up. So
yeah. So, you know, it's just a matter of personal choice and branding. Sometimes you got to let people miss you or they'll take you for granted. And, you know, even every event that I do, I'm curating the show. It's not necessarily about just me. I'm bringing a quality entertainment event, and I'm giving others the platform so that at the end of the night, grown people had a good grown time. So I get what you're saying, but still in all, you have to understand how people are. Yeah.
mhm. I get it. So, this film, which number of film is this for you? Where are you at now?
Oh, I have quite a few shorts, and I have a web series, and I'm not, for me, this is my fourth feature, but this, like I said, I can't remember how many movies now. I stopped counting because they're different, and they all have different levels. Well, you can see my growth. So when you look at Sex Ain't Love, and you look at Step Off the Block, and then you see Tubi Movie, and which was really hard to make because it's making a bad movie good, you know, because we're purposefully doing stuff wrong and trying to make a bad movie good, and it's because I know the rules, and I'm like, ugh, that's not gonna look right, and it's not gonna look right. And it's like, but it's not supposed to look right because it's okay, fine, that's what we're gonna do. So that with that, you know, but the number of movies, I think the number of shorts is out there, but the number of features is about 4.
So I want to talk about your ability to keep going with independent filming, because it is not heavily financed. It's so nuanced because you have to build your own project and find people like Damon and Adele Williams and be cold and say, hey, y'all, come on, let's believe in this and let's do this. I'm sure that's a challenging process. I want to know what makes you passionate enough to continue this work, because it is a hard climb.
That's a really good question. And I think that I'm always finding good people to work with. Like as Adele and Damon, they were good people to work with. And when people like that, them are attached to the project, people run to the projects, but the projects they're not even attached to, they still run to the projects because, like Damon says, I'm very proficient, but I'm very efficient as well, because we get in, we get out. And I always look at it this way. People, I don't want to see you that long. I want to get you in front of the camera, get your lines done, you can go. And I feel like you feel the same way. And the challenging part, I mean, money is always a challenging part, but it's whatever. But it's mostly, I'll say, people taking their craft serious. People say I'm an actor, and they show up, they don't show up. And or they show up late, or they show up and they don't know their lines. You know, so those are the challenges that I run into. But what keeps me going is my love for the craft, and I'm always creating. So I have all these things up here that I come up with, and I just want to put them in front of somebody. Like last year we created a pilot called fluke. We was pitching it to CineSpace. CineSpace grabbed it, but then the strike happened. So they saying they still backed up, but the whole thing is Fluke is still out there. I wrote 3 episodes and we shot 3 episodes, and they're just sitting, waiting for somebody to pick up. And I'm not mad about it. It's just sitting it's on the shelf. And I feel like, okay, since that's sitting on the shelf, we're doing Tubi movie now. Whatever Tubi movie does, they're gonna shine a light and say, what else you got? I can say, here's Fluke. Here's Fluke. Try Fluke out. And they say, oh, you got any more? I can write Fluke in my sleep. So that's my creativity is the one thing that keeps me going.
I love that. So both of y'all, this is a really important question, and I stumped Nicole earlier with it. Do you have a favorite Tubi movie?
I'd have to say I don't, because we've watched so many things on that, especially earlier. And Tubi's gotten better. Tubi has, like, it's been purchased, I believe, by Fox or one of the major studios.
Yeah,
so
Fox.
So they've populated the thing. But if you want to get you a good Tubi type movie, and they're all Black, you got to find the Maverick channel. My wife watches Maverick, and it's Tubi on steroids when it comes to terrible ass movies. I mean, I'm talking. They're all just, they're mostly out of Detroit or Memphis. And I say terrible just in production because, it's like, they're low budget, but the themes are, it's just so much going on with them. So if you enjoy a good, bad movie, find Maverick, because Tubi has elevated their game. And Tubi has my series on there, which is called Laugh Tonight with Damon Williams, which is a high quality stand-up series with interviews, 8 episodes, 24 comedians. But yeah, that Maverick joint, every night my wife she used to go to sleep to either The Fresh Prince or Martin. Now she's on Maverick, and it's always, bad weaves. Everybody got a little chain with the badge. It's the same cop. Yeah, I know, Will. It's everything you envision from Tubi. It's bad. If they do a hospital room, but you could tell it's somebody's apartment. They do a fancy restaurant.
Hey, you telling the movie? Hey, you telling the movie?
I ain't talking about yours. I'm talking about these movies.
You telling the movie?
All right. Anyway, no, I don't have my favorite Tubi movie is Tubi movie.
There you go.
I agree with him. I agree with that one.
And so is the Tubi movie going to be streaming on Tubi?
If they don't sue me.
I was going to ask you, do you feel a little apprehensive about being so bold and upfront about the title of the film, or are you okay? You feel covered by that?
I'm okay. I hope they sue me, because that's more publicity for the movie. They're not going to win because it's not spelled the same way.
Exactly.
And it's a satire piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a disclaimer at the beginning of the screen. I don't know if you want me to tell you what it says now, or you want to wait till you see it on screen tomorrow.
I want to wait. I'm not gonna. I don't want the readers to know. I want them to be glued and inspired enough to watch. So no, don't tell me
Because
yet.
it's a disclaimer at the beginning, and this disclaimer is going to probably make everybody crack up when they read it. Okay, at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. So that's enough. See, you giving away stuff.
Yeah. It's the ease of communication that I have. It's my soothing voice. It's pulling you into giving me more information. So I'm going to stop from giving me more information. And I'm going to ask you guys about the cast. And I'm working within this parody that is obviously challenging and probably funny as hell. How is it like working with Adele and B. Cole and the actors that are in the film? Damon, that'll be for you.
Well, I've worked with B. Cole on several projects, including films that he cast me in. But our scenes don't overlap. So I didn't work with either of them on that scene. But I have worked with both of them in film. I worked with Adele in Will's film, Sex Ain't Love, and I was her husband. And so for her to snap on me for having, some stuff in my phone, and, I even had to smooch her on the lips, and her lips are famous. I had a little one of those. That was a one take as well, because I know her husband very well. And, So we got that in and out. But she's just a consummate pro. She elevates everything she's part of. As for B. Cole as well, he's not only a great guy behind the camera, he's really good in front of the camera. He has all the instincts, and then he looks like young Ali. So B. Cole should be a lead man out here as well. So it's just great. It's family.
I love it. So for Chicago, for this premiere to be, or this screening to be here, what is the importance of that in this particular location? Because you can go to LA or Atlanta where people think they're more important than us. This is a Chicago paper, so I can say it exactly like that.
Well, they say we're the third largest in the country. So it's LA, New York, then us. And plus, we Chicago. We are Chicago. And why would I go over there? And then we got people here that we can pull in. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of talent. And the thing about this movie that's different from other movies, even I'm gonna talk about Sex and Love. Sex and Love, we follow one character. This movie, everybody has their own story. So everybody has their own story. So Damon has his own story. Adele has her own story. B. Cole has his own story. So with everybody,
it's like a tossed salad of vignettes that intertwine and have so much. The glitches are just so hilarious. In fact, the bloopers, I don't know what you're doing with those bloopers, but the bloopers on top of the glitches, on top of the film, it's just this is a great. I'm looking forward to this for people. So I didn't mean to cut it in, but I just had to say that, man. It's awesome.
No, it's cool. It's cool. So and those are the things that I focus on, because I mean we have a lot of great talent here, and it's better to have it. I mean, we have untouched talent here, because we see Denzel doing whatever, and it's like Denzel is Training Day Denzel, plus he's Equalizer Denzel, but he's still Denzel. Let's see somebody else build a character and become somebody else. Because if I have Denzel, I'm like, it's just Denzel being who Damon's character. I want to see fresh people. So everybody's, we have a lot of great talent here. We do. We have a lot of great talent here. So I was happy. I was happy when Adele, Damon, and B. Cole was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." Damon said, "Yeah, all right, dude, send me a script." And Adele, she was like, "Oh, I've been reading the script, 17 pages, and it's funny. But I'm keeping my grandkids." And then B. Cole said, "All right, this is kind of movie I want to do." So I was very happy to hear all those responses, and everybody else pretty much just want to work. So it's great to have a good team that want to work. So that's why it's here and not in LA or New York or Atlanta. It's here.
Well, I would like to thank you for that, because we don't really have a lot of instinctively Chicago comedies like that. We have Chicago comedians in mainstream films and mainstream comedians, and they reach the center stage to a certain extent, but we don't really. I've often found that it appears to be a disunified, an ununified aspect of the city, and we know living here that that's not necessarily the case often. And to be able to have this Tubi movie and this satire and this showing of Chicago comedians together, I think is super important. So I want you to be proud of that, because that is important to keeping our legacy forward. And it's also important for you, right? Because you can do that, and you can show us, hey, you can show other people on the outside, like it's not just Adam Sandler and like Happy Productions, and he can bring all his friends and that's it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. So for our listeners and viewers, how can they support you in getting this film in their hands?
I need butts and seats. I really need butts and seats. Butts and seats will show that we are not just independents. We're not just somebody that can go straight to streaming. Butts and seats says that, hey, they have the numbers. They have the people that want to come out and see this. Butts and seats means that the money will rain on us, and we can have bigger productions and hire more people. because I have a crew. Damon can tell you, my crew. I have a crew of 2 or 3, and when you see them shooting Chicago Fire, whatever, they have trailers. I have a crew of 2 or 3, and I get it done. Efficient is the only way to get it done, and it might be 10 actors, but it'll be a crew of 3. It'll be a crew of 3. So that money rains down, it spreads out. I'm not trying to line my pockets. I'm trying to line everybody else's pockets. Somebody recently said they had a post online who said, why everybody want to get paid? Because people have to eat. Where's my payment as a filmmaker? Your payment is your finished project. They help you finish your project. And whatever you do with that after that, that's on you. But you have to pay for quality. You don't pay for you because the people you don't pay, they don't show up. They don't show up. They show up late, and they don't take it as serious as you do. And when you waste my time and you waste everybody else's time, you just wasting time.
And also, I'll add to that he has a certain amount of equity built with his reputation that people know, at least this project will be seen. This will be, I can add to my reel. This is experience on set. And when you do it guerrilla style like he's doing it, you got to be proficient. And so do the actors, because you don't have all these different takes. You don't have all these multiple camera angles. We got to shoot it this way. We're going to shoot it that way. We're going to shoot it straight here, and we off. And if you're not on point, this makes you. So when you get on a major studio set, now you're ahead of the game because you've been through, the warfare with Will. So, and he's very no, and it's not. It's film school for me. It's acting training for me. The technology, the terminology, the angles and things that I've learned from just being on independent sets with people like yourself. Now I feel more comfortable auditioning for a major role because I won't get there and be lost. I know to tell the director, are you going over the shoulder? What's my eye line? Are we doing my close-up? Is this a 2-shot? All of these terms come from working with independent filmmakers and makes us all better. And once we get better, it makes it easier for him because we've learned from him.
I love that.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Very serious question before you guys leave and we get back to this debate. How much baby oil do you have in your house?
0. 0.
Ain't no babies here, ain't no baby oil. Now we do have a little coconut oil around here, but that ain't nobody's business. I
just needed to know because the headlines are what they are, and I talked to B. Cole about it earlier, and I just told him, I was like, just don't have a skid worth of baby oil in your house, and I'm sure you'll be I don't want it. I have 1 bottle and it's probably lasted me since 2019. It's probably expired. I don't even know if it expires, but I got that 1 bottle. So what I want to know are how can people get these proverbial butts in the seats? I know where I'm going to be and how I can see it, but moving forward, and for our readers, how are they going to get their hands on this project? Are we working?
Blow up the theater companies. Call AMC. Call Cinemark. Email them. Do all you can. That's the only way they'll know that this matters. Because without their voice, if you go see a movie, some people go see movies and be like, "Oh, that was good," and never tell anybody. But get out there, get your bullhorn, go see it. Get your bullhorn, go see it. Stand in front of NBC. Hey, y'all should be picking this up. This what type of stuff y'all, do that. Get the bullhorn out.
I love that.
Email.
This is
email, Facebook, Instagram, X, whatever, Twitter, whatever it's called, TikTok.
Yeah. Twitter is very powerful. If you if you post on Twitter and at the AMC, the Cinemark, the distributors, they are very responsive to Twitter for some reason. And I found that out even like with airlines. If you have a problem with an airline, if you at them, or a business, they will get somebody or somebody going to respond to you with that. So, and I had no idea. I really discounted Twitter's reach until I was on the talk on CBS, and I got on a humbug because I came in, I Skyped in as a viewer, and then I told them I'm a comedian, and then I told them I was working with Tom Joyner, so they brought me in as what they used to call top talkers. After that, I tried to get back on. It's like the only way that they were taking top talkers is if the affiliate that you're associated with has 1 million Twitter followers. And I'm like, Twitter? You know, who the hell feel about Twitter? But Twitter is very, very intrigued or plugged into corporate America. So tweet it.
I love that. So y'all, this is the only time I will tell you to tweet something,
Right.
because independent films matter, comedy matters, Chicago comedians matter, Chicago projects matter. So we want you to galvanize yourself. And instead of telling me about why your baby daddy is getting on your nerves, go on there and do this. I haven't even seen the film yet, but I know it's important to do, and we should do it. So I thank y'all, because again, we got things to watch, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow and not scream in your ear. So where can we follow you, Will? Because we at Damon Williams Comedy is on all platforms. Will, where are you?
I'm on Facebook as Will Adams, and I'm on Instagram as Will Adams Chicago, and Twitter WWA Video.
Okay,
and I don't even know what TikTok is.
Is there a film for the is there an Instagram for the film also?
No, I haven't done that. And yeah, I know people twisted my arm, but it's just too much social media to keep up with.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a whole
grab
lot.
you an intern, man. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We'll get you an intern. I'll let you borrow one of mine. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out in your evening. And I can't wait to see this film, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Tube E movie.
Tube E movie. Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
You too.